home, home with God, or life after death, a journey that you'll never forget by Neil Donald Walsh, chapter 32. And the title is Nearly Every Person Who is Dying is Not Dying for the First Time. Means what? Mean that is a cycle, as everybody knows by now, is a wheel of samsara. And in the other side also you're gonna have a second death as your astral body or your um, etheric body or your spiritual body will also perish eventually. It's just a matter of time. However, depending on where you will be allocated. Now, don't give me this nonsense of there is such thing as merit. To me, there's no merit. Otherwise, where it where we um, where we place the motto like all men are equal. If we say that some will go to a bad place, a purgatory, if you will, or a hell, and the other will go to a better place. However, all this you must understand that it's imaginary, and it's just like life in here. It's not permanent. Okay, there's a time span. It's gonna depend on several. Um, it's gonna depend on many variants. It's going to depend in their will over there, also on the being overall capacity to of strength and energy left behind. Okay, and many others variants. Okay, it won't depend solely solely on the entity now dead on the spirit or the astral body, but also gonna depend on many other causes, third parties. Okay, they too will intervene in your staying in that condition, also in your capacity of fighting back, and there will be a second death. And I tell you more, you can commit suicide the other side if you are miserable. I mean, you want to destroy this body that's not yours, go ahead and do. However, they'll try their best not to detach your consciousness here, because once your consciousness is detached from that miserable monster body, that spectre, you could go freely to cosmos. And you must exercise this right here while you are alive. Don't wait until you die, okay? But well, depend on your level of understanding, on your culture, cultural beliefs, etc. And for each of your own, what you choose for the self. You want to be a subject, subservient to them, so be. No problem for me, no problem. I'm gonna take care of myself. So I've been waiting and waiting. So tell me before I run out of patience, what's the whole inquiry? Oh, I love this main energy, just like me. Quick before I run out of patience. At the end of your life, in what we have described as stage 3 of death, you will be asked an extraordinary question. This will be the most important question you will ever be asked, and your reply will be the most important statement you have ever made in the biggest moment of free choice you could ever imagine. Now, what's spiritual is when you are cautious and when you are placed against a wall, a corner, and I say do or else, remain here, imprisoned, having your consciousness imprisoned in this wretched, this damned astral or spiritual or causal body, if you will, or mental body, whatever you want to name this trash, because it means trash. So, up to you. I mean, either you want to stay there and commit suicide, or free your consciousness and go back to cosmos, or or listen to this damage. Up to you. So the question they're gonna ask is, you want to stay here or you want to go back? Go back how? To physicality. They will then create a program, a configuration for you, and a trace your destiny, even if it is within the framework of a phony mock free will. Because what is free will if your spiritual body uh, will absorb all your mistake? I mean, not mistake, but if you choose to go against your configuration, your destiny between parentals, then to you have to answer for it on the other side through this demiurge out there. Okay, so you need to exert sovereignty in your own free will from the cosmos to tell them off. Tell them no. Just like now, the demiurge wait for me to be pre-admitted to a hospital when I don't want to. Why should I undergo surgery unnecessarily pay about 5,000 and be admitted there and then let the house and the cats and my plant die of hunger and thirst with nobody else because the demiurge and the demiurge here won't help me and nothing. So why must I do that? I let them call me. I don't care. I'm not gonna pick up. I'm not gonna do what they want. If they think that they can fool me like they fooled the hair this year, they are wrong. They want to put a stent inside my urethra to last for 6 months, which is against the law. This nephrostomy tube by itself um, should not be here in 4 months. I mean, shouldn't last 4 months. And it's 4 months now. They don't want to remove. It's septic. I tried at the clinics and all the same time I went to your room and all the same story. We can't do it. We can't do the procedure. We can't remove. You can't remove. You have to go back to your doctor. What doctor from hell? I don't want that. I don't need the DJ nonsense stench inside my genitalia or whatever. I don't want that. My genitalia is clean. I'm healthy. I know it's bad. It's mine. My body is my body and the earth's body. Doesn't belong to them that they think they can do as they please. And I'm not this kind of a person that is pinned easily by people. If you think that you can convince me easily and you can control me, you are wrong. They put this too because they sedated and dragged me March 2nd. Otherwise, I would just, if I knew what would come, I would just dress up and come back home. So this is this is when you exert your willpower. I use this as a role model, okay, to understand how to exert your willpower. Don't let the devil choose for you. First of all, I'm very allergic to drugs. I cannot take drugs. I had two sisters dying by anesthesia, general anesthesia. I have a brother dying recently by general anesthesia. I had my mom. My mom also died by general anesthesia. You understand? And they want to do it for me when I said I cannot. And still they don't accept it no as an answer. And then this is the sign of the demiurge. I don't flick care. I don't flock care what people think. Okay? It's my body, it's my life. You're not gonna help me if I job, if I money, or if I am hungry and famine. You don't come home and give me some money to buy food. So why you want to take money that I don't have? Huh? I barely have money for eat, let alone to for cat. Oh, let alone for rubbish surgery that I don't need. And let alone take public transport. What the hell are you? You don't make me angry. I'm gonna expose them. I give them so much space already. I'm gonna expose them. They will see. They don't mess with me. I don't care. I die. I go to jail if I don't frack care. They you want to see a devil? They mess with me. Bloody reptilians, gray aliens. You still want to be the victim? I'll go to hell. So at the end of all, so we must exert our power, our free will. Don't let other people decide for you nothing because that is your life. You, as a wife, as a son or daughter, I mean the young children or the teenagers who are being harassed by narcissist parents. But some of them, like there's some people you'll be surprised how they love to be possessed by narcissist parents. Because when the parents good like me, I look crazy. I know I look crazy and neurotic sometimes, but it's Virgo and energy areas. It's common. Okay, but oh my God, I'm a flower. If animals, plant, and kids, I'm a flower. I melt like ice cream in the sun, like butter in the sun, outside the fridge in the hot weather. Okay, I'm more like this with the evil people. If you are evil to me, you beware, beware. I'm worse than Scorpio even. Beware. I'm worse than Cancer. Don't mess with me. So if you are a daughter or a son who's been, I mean, when you are young, not when you grow up already, 16-year-old, I want on my own. Why can't you grow, grow that thing there and then go and have your own life? Don't blame your parents. But I pity the children who cannot defend themselves from narcissist, abusive parents. But there's some aliens here who love to be abused. Because when they are abused, they love. They will cherish this kind of parents. But when the parents are good, they will take advantage of them, and then they will spit on the head, grab on the shoulder and spit on the head. You know, there is some. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be good to your children. Be good, never mind, because at the end of the day, you know that you have your consciousness clean. Okay, because my mother has been good to me, and I've been good to my children in return. I maintain my consciousness clean and pure because I know that I have tried my best as a young mother. Because I was a young mother, a youth when I gave birth. And I didn't know much about how to brought up children. Okay, but I tried my best, like protected them, loved them, give what they wanted. Not what they need, but what they wanted because I want to pamper them. Never mind, I don't yet regret. But nowadays, I don't give a damn to them. They don't give a damn to me. I also don't give a damn to them. But don't blame my happy brain. Blame them because my mother has was good to me, and I knew how to return it back because my DNA and my culture is different. Okay, I'm Iberic. I'm mostly Iberic and Latin, and our DNA is different. We are very filial. We are filial. We are very humble towards our parents. Our culture is different. It's not as some Anakins. Anakins don't like to cherish their parents. Because Anakins, the seed of the serpents. So even though they have my DNA, but those they have the other DNA, which is not my DNA, not Iberic, it's other here in Asia. Yeah, tell the truth. So um, they will ask you, are you ready to be reincarnated? And then you say, if you are in a good place there, I mean, you are creation of your mind right now. Then you see castle. You are in a garden like many neurotic people imagine to be. And then you will say, oh, I don't want to go back. Please don't allow me to go back. Hello, that's one of the first stage of death. You are still going to be allocated to other place. Don't worry. Don't make your mind so fast because you are still creating with your mind on the first stage of death, right? So when they place you in a place where it's all like, how to say, it's something like jelly and putrid, because your spiritual body is now decaying. It smells like putrid wound, septic wound, abscess. Okay, it's very terrible stench over there. Or there's many other variants. Wherever you are, sometimes you are inside a jail, like I saw my brother inside a jail, 1983. Then you say, oh, I'm going to be free. Yeah, you're going to be free, but you have to go through this and that. We give you a bubble to carry in your spirit. That one's going to be your configuration, your fate, if you will, your destiny, and you have to carry it out. Okay, or else that bad will absorb your rebelliousness, your um, your your rebellious attitude will be absorbed in that spiritual body that they insert into the entity, into the human body. So you say, but could I have another alternative? Yeah, you can have another alternative. You can go to another planet, you be a frog or whatever, but still have to reincarnate. Um, a frog or a monster in another planet. Should I? Yeah, you should see. You want to be a Homo sapien? You want to be a you want to go to planet Earth and then take part there in the big library of sentient beings? What do you want to be? Do you want to let's say regress? For me, it's not a regress. Regress mean what? You go back in time and be a cat or a dog, because evolution for them is mean that you go forward, you don't go backward, and then if you become a cat and a dog again, you are going backward in time. You understand? I mean not say that being a dog and a cat is something bad. No, it's something wonderful, because those beings are pure. Their heart, their soul is pure. They are there to protect you, to take away your stress, to help you in time of needs. Okay, so being a cat or a dog not something bad, but within their rules, within their prerequisite to go back in time and become a cat or dog, you would be regressing in time. This is what they think. So they say, no, you want to be a dog and a cat yet, or you still want to be a Homo sapiens or alien or a gene, whatever. So you choose what you want to be. Sometimes they want to be as they say, a reptilian. Okay, could be a reptilian, a gene. A reptilian is a gene, but not quite same appearance here. Gene has a different appearance. They are fat, big stomach, tall, very fat. They look like a tree trunk. They are different. Some are like smoke. Okay, there's many type. Depends of their composition. But the Arabs think that, oh, it's only smoke. No, there's many kind. There's the ether one, there's the fire one, there's the water gene, whatever. So you choose what you want to become in this vast library of the cosmos. And then if you say, I want to return, okay, I agree to return. So you say, okay, we're going to take all your data, and then we make a registry of you, and then you're gonna be placed inside a machine and shoot back to through time and space and go back to a mother's womb. That's what happened. The other say that once your perispirit slowly die, that's okay, good. So that you go back to cosmos. This is the one. So as your body also is decomposed on earth, your perispirit also decomposing is at the same time simultaneously. Okay, sometimes the body is decomposed and your your astral body, your causal body still will be in a state of decay, decomposition, still gonna be decomposing for a certain period, but eventually you all have a second death. And then from there on, you decide whether you're going to go cosmos or you want to follow aliens agenda and then reincarnate again. They don't want you to go back to cosmos. They stop you. What for? No, no, no. We have plan for you because you're gonna use your essence, your consciousness, and put back inside another body again. And then your previous body now will take some of the DNA and make another being entity to make another entity, not necessarily your consciousness. Your consciousness go yet inside another consciousness. Oh, another body, another atomic body, that is a photonic body, whatever, and then insert into human vessels. Okay, do you know how it's made like this? So this will be the most important question that will ever be asked, and you reply with the most important statement you have ever made in the biggest moment of free choice you could ever imagine. It's so important that all of the angels in heaven will stop to listen to what you are saying. Oh, great. It's so important that all your loved ones will be gathered around. You mean the copy of our loved ones? The, what they call it, a hologram? Yes, a hologram is it? It's so important that God Himself, oh my gosh, who is this God, Lucifer with a hood, isn't it? Very big there, sit down on a throne and a watch. That's your God for you. Will be present when the question is asked. Indeed, she will be the one doing the asking. She. Okay. What is the question? Now, what's the question? Now the question is, do you want to stay or go? I'm sorry, I'm going to be asked if I want to stay. Stay where? You mean stay dead? Stay nowhere because there is all a place of imagination, dream and nightmare. It's all a figment of your imagination. It's all about binaries, visual life, and all about dreams and nightmare. Okay? There's no geographic place there. It's all in your imagination. But in Agartha, there is something. In Agartha below, yeah, that one is quite physical. It's the fourth dimension. That's quite physical. But if you go to the astro and beyond, it's fifth dimension. So over there, the farther you go is more solar. Okay, the closer to earth you become is more denser, more physical. Now the atoms vary. Yes, in human terms, in your language, Languaging, yes, that will be the question. Do you mean I'll have a choice about that? You have a choice about everything. That's the point I have been making since the beginning of our conversation. We are now at the end of a 10-year dialogue, and you are still asking the question. Well, I know I have a choice about everything in my life. Bull crap, bull crap. Not always, not always. Don't give this them excuses here. The people have a choice to have their leg amputated. Now what? Put what? A prothesis. Huh? Put a device to walk. People have a choice to not to die from a serious disease without a heart that fail, a kidney that fail. If they get transplant, okay. A device, forget that one. There's no sense of it. Nowadays, as I said before, oh my God, it's a fashion to have device, to have what they call stent. Stent here, stent in the heart, stent in the kidney, stent in the liver, stent in this. Oh, please, please, please. So ridiculous. Let your body, use your mind to make your body regenerate. The cells of your liver, your renal, your hepatic from the liver, your renal from the kidney, your coronary from the heart, um, regenerate. Give a time for the cells to regenerate rather than destroyed somewhere else with surgeries and drugs and whatever in a stent. Not stent, a pacemaker, pacemaker. Peace. So you have a choice about everything. That's the point I have been making since the beginning of our conversation. Okay. Well, I know I have a choice about everything in my life. I just didn't know I had a choice about my death. Are you telling me that if I don't want to stay dead, I don't have to? Of course not. And their agenda and their universe, no, you shouldn't, because they are commerce. They commerce with the human, with not human, with his soul, consciousness, see lives. So all this is what they do. It's like a business for them. It's a commerce. Do you understand? So of course you have a choice to go back again to, they call it create. I would say suffer. Suffer. For most of us here, is about suffering. That's exactly what I'm telling you. So I had a choice about my death. How you tell me that if I don't want to stay dead, I don't have to. That's exactly what I'm telling you. That that's not possible. That's not, that runs counter to everything I've ever heard. I don't understand. We are given a choice at the time of our death to go on or go back. That is right. That's exactly the choice you are given. And so here it is, the 16th remembrance that is reversible. And another body, I mean, for them, it's the same body because a Homo sapien body is a dog body, is a cat body, the same body, but not exactly the same. You may, they may choose for you another color of skin, another ethnic group. They may choose for the dog, they may choose a mongrel or others. Understand? It's not the same. The same bud, the same species, but different appearance or pedigree or whatever race. Species. No, not a species. Phenotype, biophenotype. So that is reversible. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride here. It's all I can do to just hang on. What are you trying to tell me here? Everyone who dies is able to make a decision as to how they wish to go on living and where. Everyone who dies is able to make a decision as to how they wish to go on living and where. See? What you want to become? Which place you want? Which race? A gray alien, a reptilian, a homo sapien, a cat, a dog, a tree? What an interesting way to put it. It's the only way to put it because that's exactly how it is. Remember the 70 remembrance she is that death does not exist. It does not. When a person does the thing that you call die, that person is always given a choice. Do you want to experience that the life you have just left is continuing? Or do you wish to experience a reality in which you are moving on, heading toward the spiritual realm? So, do you want to experience that the life you have just left is continuing? Or do you wish to experience a reality in which you are moving on, heading toward the spiritual realm? So, either you choose to go back in a flesh, okay, in a physical, into physicality, or you choose to move on to other plans. Okay, you want to go to Venus, to Saturn, to Mars, to Neptune, then you go. Depend on the how to say the mission. That's the mission is the cost they give you to undertake there. You want to learn about spiritually, you go to Neptune, I guess. Yeah, Neptune. You want to learn about economics, you go to Jupiter. You want to learn about more about politics, you go to Mars. This is I studied that I may say that nobody yet know, okay? Few people, there are people who know it, but it's not well spoken yet. So you want to go for learning artists, music, vanity, you go Venus. You want to learn about being intellectual. You want to learn about being very hyper, and intellectual, and be very intelligent. You go to Mercury. It's very near here. So yeah, I think she goes there. Okay, like my planet is Mercury. It's very fast thinking, very high degree intelligence, but not all everybody. Not everybody's like that, but there's certain people that who has Mercury very in a high degree. They are very fast thinker. And Jupiter also, not Jupiter, Neptune also you can learn philosophy there. In Saturn, you learn everything about commerce, about politics, and about economics. Okay, because they govern all this. Okay, so you decide. That's why sometimes our loved ones stop coming and visit because they are on journey. They they go on. Or sometimes they have a second death. When this happens, they return to the physicality again. Or they merge with the cosmos, which is very difficult, but you can accomplish. But they there, over there, they will not allow you. They say, oh, it's not, you are not ready to meld with the cosmos yet. No, you still have other things to learn before you go and take this jump. You cannot. You just cannot. You're not ready. You haven't upgraded yourself yet. Yeah. I remember. I remember they tell me that. So they will tell you this, the same thing. You are not ready. So you have to go back. You're not ready to go back to meld with the cosmos yet. So you have to return, step back, go back to physicality. Or you can continue as a spiritual being. Now, if pure light, if you are lucky enough, so you're gonna let go that perisprit will be destroyed by laser. You know that rubbish, nonsense, junk DNA, uh, astrobad will be destroyed, and then you're going to how to say the word is you're gonna get another type of body. This time around, it's photonic, pure light. And they're gonna shoot like a star in the in a matter of few nanoseconds. You are where you should be, or you go with aliens inside the craft. Yeah, it's happened. You go with aliens inside the craft. They take you where you should be allocated. Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. Uranus is about revolution, about changes, about movement, about progression. I have been to Uranus already. Okay, I have been to Uranus. I had a life. I stay long time there in Uranus already. It's about movement. It's about being radical. They say Aquarians are like this forward, but they are not. They are materialists. They are dense, and they like to stay only, where have material, money, sex, drugs. Then they are in. This is not evolution. This is not evolution. This is the evolution of the species and the entity. It's not evolution. Evolution is move forward. Evolution is about think different. That's the evolution. So you're going to wherever they are locating eyes, where they say, oh yeah, you see, uh, we have seen your data, and then we come to a conclusion that you haven't get that much accolade to go to a certain place, like you're not qualified, you're not a candidate to go to certain place like Saturn or Neptune or Uranus yet, so you have to stay back somewhere else. Okay, maybe go to Venus. Just learn the arts is a planet, more feminine planet. You can go there. Okay, or maybe you go Mars. Mars also is not very advised. It is more about war, about this thing about exploration, um, invasion, etc. And about have a base, and is a base to plenty other things, other events. So uh, they will stay and allocate themselves in Mars. So when a pest does not do the thing called joy, that pest is always given a choice. Do you want to experience that the life you have just left is continuing? Or do you wish to experience a reality in which you are moving on, heading toward the spiritual realm? You mean that everyone who dies has a chance to come back to life? Yes, the soul can. In its experience here, not the soul, which is a problem, not your body. Your body's finished. Forget it. Forget about Mary or John or Edwards, whatever. Forget, it's gone. You come to another identity, another aspect, another phenotype, another biotype. Yes, the soul can its experience undo, and its experience undo the death through which it has just passed. Of course, do not say reincarnation. It's so simple. Reincarnation. Or incarnation when you go back to cosmos. You melt and you incarnate. How? How in the world does it do that? Reincarnation, not your body, huh? Your body not come to life again. That's nonsense. Not a body. It simply tells God by saying, thinking, feeling, I don't want to die now. I want to go back. Now, This feeling, thinking, feeling, sometimes cautious, sometimes manipulated by third parties. And you have no other way out to choose otherwise. You have no other way out. You cannot choose otherwise. So you have no chance but to say, I will to them to pay back again. I'm so tired. There's so many things. Back pain. Each soul asked the question, are you ready? Do you want to go on? This is the gentlest question. Gentlest, so there is a rude question. It is asked if all souls who crosses over from the physical world, if the thought feeling implies yes, the soul continues on its journey to the spiritual realm. You see, you go to other planets. Since in the 80s, I came with this idea. When I go back to bed and then I start to look at the roof, and then I will start to think, I guess that when we die, we go to another planet. I ever told this to this ogre that I married with. Nonsense, you talk nonsense. He said that to me because he's a fanatic Muslim man. So he said, nonsense doesn't happen. Either we go to hell or heaven. See how fanatism causes in a person who is not very intelligent and wise. And is so brainwashed by culture and something else. And you know that you are so advised spiritually wise, consciously wise. You are so evolved and you are so wise, and you know that you don't match this person. We are so different, like milk and coffees. And I don't want to compliment nobody. I don't want to learn nothing from him. From person like this, I don't want nothing. I want distancy. Send me to a distance like Mars to Earth or the moon to Earth. Keep your eyes that in this distance, one from another. So are you ready? Do you wish to go on? This is the gentlest question is asked of all souls who cross over from the physical world. So I always knew that since the 80s, and I was right. I was right. Many things that I thought from the 80s is correct now. I also thought that before, from Antarctica to all this Antarctica, it was a part of Atlantis before. Because the inspiration came to me in the 80s while before I sleep, I was thinking about this past lives. And then it come to my memory now. And then I will say, hey, Atlantis, that's it, Atlantis was Antarctica. Antarctica was a part of Atlantis as well. The old world. And now and later when they bring the atomic bomb, they throw it at Atlantis, flood the all, and then ice took over. Okay? Many scientists don't know because you don't use your Akashic record. You need to go to the registry of Earth to understand, to know, to dig. It's not through carbon nonsense that you find things. You find things through the unknown that is behind the veil yet. So each soul asked the question, are you ready to use this gentle question? So if the thought feeling reply is yes, the soul continues on its journey to the spiritual realm or the other planets within the same universe. It's not the multiverse, but the universe, solar system, Milky Way. Okay, it's not other. In order for you to journey to another multiverse, you have to go through wormholes and holes, okay, portal to another world. Some aliens are able to do this feat, others feat, and others still cannot do it. Some most advanced races of aliens are able to go through wormholes, portals, and black holes to get to another multiverse. but they have to be on the 60 to 80 dimension above, six above in degree to achieve this feat. Otherwise, they cannot do it. All right. So, as for us, because we are considered yet backward, we are going only through the universe, which is the solar system and the Milky Way. So this is the greatest question. Okay, it also continues with its own spiritual life. The soul asks to go back. The soul is sent back to physicality, to the nonsense, to the brothel. If the soul said, "No, I want to go back to us," to the physical world, instantly arriving a nanosecond before it died. Whew, just like do you read that book, the Tibetan Book of Death? Yeah, they talk about it. For some souls, but gonna depend. Not everybody's qualified to, they will see your files if you classify, if you qualifies or not. They'll see your data. So if they see that you qualify to take another body immediately after death, you will do. I think my father and my brother did that. They didn't stay long time there. They immediately were sent back. My father and my brother, not the oldest one who died first in 1973. No, but one went recently. No, not quite recently. Last time I saw him was 1983. So after that he went already. So it was long time already. He already been reincarnated. Okay, maybe he was reincarnated as my son, my youngest son in 1996. I suspect that he's my son. He has a piece of my son. The style, the way, how he speaks and behaves. So when I tell this to him, he goes, "Huh? Ah, nonsense. I don't believe this nonsense." He tells me that. I say, okay, you are not ready for it, not ready to understand all this. But I think yet that you have been my brother. So this is a mighty blower. This is even a little upsetting. If this is true, why wouldn't one who really loved his or her family not want to go back? I mean, as wonderful as I'm sure heaven is, not everybody's going to heaven, dude. Some goes to the purgatory. Don't be so foolish. And why people he's still thinking that when the dude here said that we go back immediately, that we go back to our family with our memory intact. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't function this way. Our previous memory of our previous identity is erased before we embark in another journey, and before you take up another body. Our previous memory is erased by laser. All right. So the dude here thinks no, that we come back to the body and all, and then we go immediately meet our families left behind. It doesn't happen this way. No, 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 no. It's not possible. But distant people are able to distinguish who they were before, able to remember. They say, "Oh, you have been my sister or whoever." They can even tell the mother, whatever. If they come, if this memory is still intact, they'll be able to remember. If some fragments of memory has been left behind after his memory has been fragmented, if some memory has been left behind, he will remember sooner or later. However, you won't be able, when your memory is totally defragmented, you won't be able to remember anymore. So, and you still haven't described that to me. You still haven't told me what happened on the other side. It will always be there. waiting for us? Is it a kind of selfish to stay there when you know that you can go back? No, 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 dirty. It's not on the right and choice to choose. It's the aliens that decide. It's not the people. When I say people, they're not the entity, the poor, miserable entity. But these beings who decides for us, they are lying here, no. So it will always be there waiting for us. Isn't it kind of selfish to stay there when you know that you can go back and that your loved ones are hurting so bad because you are gone? They can know nothing as they please. Most of them are punished. If even they escape to come and visit their relatives here, they are punished. Okay, it's not like that simple. On the first few weeks or month of death, they may periodically, from time to time, later no more finish. So I don't know if I can believe this. This leaves me feeling, I don't know, empty. Would you rather we didn't pursue this? Well, you say it now. There's an elephant in the middle of the living room. You expect me to be able to ignore it? It wasn't meant to upset you. I'm sure it wasn't, but so tell me, what is this all about? It is simply as I have said after dying, every soul is given the opportunity to remain in the afterlife or to return to the physical life from which it has just come. Yeah, but not all are candidate for that. There's many variants. They will assess your files first. Yes, I understood that, but please give me the details. When does this occur? It occurs after you melt into the light. After you go to the light, it's become you, and the aliens at the other side, uh, disguised as your loved ones waiting for you. This one is a trap, a trap, a trap, a trap, a trap. Okay, a trap. You cross that river, a trap. You cross that bridge, a trap. You cross that tunnel, a trap. All is a trap. It occurs after you melt into the light, but the light is very powerful and it's very difficult to resist it. After you die, it's very difficult to resist. At the moment of emergency, when you emerge into the light with alien's agenda, alien center. But the dogmatic says that no, is the waiting center, the waiting center where souls, departed souls waited there to be reincarnated, to be healed from traumas or whatever. Well, that's not very fair. Who on earth can compete with that? Why would anyone want to return to physical life after merging if they want? I mean, really, actually, many souls do. So, well, that's not very fair. Who on earth can compete with that? Why would anyone want to return to physical life after marriage if they want? I mean, really, actually, many souls do. Why they do? Because they decide they're not happy. They are placed in a place where they are miserable and even punished if they go against the rules. You understand? So the evil, the lesser. So they chooses to reincarnate rather than stay there suffering. You know what I mean? It's either boring or suffering. Either boring or suffering. My mother told me that. And who knows better than the dead ones? Who knows better than them? She stood there outside the window and she told me outside there is so boring. Inside there, that side there is so boring. You see, God is so boring. Why don't you come and stay with me? I said, no, mom, sorry, I cannot right now. But she came to me. It was in 2008, sorry, 2008. Actually, of course, they don't have another. I think my mother was, I don't know, she's still somewhere else. But last time I saw her, my two sisters who passed away. Everyone's happy to see them together, and I hope they are. What? Why? Are you telling me that many souls would rather return to us than remain in heaven? They don't have another choice. And it's not all about heaven. It's about purgatory. It's a colony there. A colony. And then the being there live their only imagination, their only traumas or whatever. They are made to create for their minds. Okay, they create for their minds. They create that they imagine to have a house, they imagine to eat, they imagine to have carnal pleasure. They imagine to, if they were a drug addicted, they imagine to take drugs. All that is all imagination, all a mental neurosis. Okay, it's not true. It's just like a dream or nightmare. Okay, but one that looks real, very real. And um, it's not, as these people say, it's not all about beautiful garden, God, angels. No, there's something else. It's colonies. Colonies. The hypersphere there is a different colony. Below the earth, it has many departments, many geographic images. It's quite physical because it's fourth dimension. Okay, still fourth dimension is almost physical. Okay, but still not quite physical, but almost there. Is denser than the fifth dimension. Astral world is more like fifth dimension. It's more subtle, more subtle. Whereas the below the earth there, Agatha, is more, is denser. So over there, you imagine many things. You imagine that you go still to market, that you still live in this. So you imagine a copy of your previous life here on earth. You imagine or you dream that you are living a life just as you lived here before you died. Okay? You can create your own colony there. There is the colony of the drug addicted, of the people who, or there's many variants of common people. The richest one, the greatest one, also have their own colonies. The materialist, the materialist people have their own colonies, which separated from the others who have not. And I have the other miserable souls down below, and there's many levels. I helped my sister in one of those levels below. Poor thing, my poor sister. And then they put her against me, I guess. Oh, they put her, yeah, against me. So why? Why? Are you telling me that many souls would rather return to us than remain in heaven? That doesn't say much about heaven. Yeah, exactly. If it were good, because why? It doesn't exist. It's all a state of being. It's just like cotton candy. One time it will melt, and once it melts, it's finished. It says that heaven is exactly what you imagine it to be. See? It says that heaven is exactly what you imagine it to be. Because in the fifth dimensions above, a place where you can have anything you wish. Because you are still at the second stage of death, and you are still creating with with your mind, the product of your imaginations or illusions. After merging with the Senshi, the soul understands many things. It understands that there is no such thing as judgment and condemnation. It understands that nothing negative can possibly occur in the afterlife. It understands who and what the soul is. It understands the purpose of life and the process of life. It understands fully and completely the nature of ultimate reality. That's true. And it understands that the afterlife will always be there, waiting through all eternity. hmm Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I believe that that's true. So I think that people, yeah, they go to. I saw my brothers in the side of jail, but although he was not happy, he also was not suffering. I saw my sister who decided at the first instance of death, she was miserable, she was suffering, but that while her body was decomposing yet, after that, that, after that, she changed. You see, she changed, and she would always appear to me with different disguise. She was changing often, but now she was completely irrecognizable. She was not the same that I met before. She was either male or female mixed together. She looked uh, this her veiled like Haggard, terrible, you know. But she was not suffering. She was in a state of madness, I would say, but not suffering, not suffering. And the last time I saw her, the last time was October 2022. She was in this state of coma, covered all in white. Okay, and last year also I saw her. She was still with my other sister who's still alive here because she was they both were very close together. I think they are soul family. They are very like twin flames, something like that. They are very close together. But uh, oh, did that I cry for her after she died more than the other, her darling sister who is 1 year apart from her. But it was me who was always there for her. It was me who cried more for her. Understand? Who had more pit on her than the other, her dear sister there who's still alive. Scorpio one. The other one Pisces. And you see how people sometimes it's not good to be nice to people, but we cannot help it because our heart is so soft. So who and what those reason this so exactly after merging with the essential, the soul understands essentially all that I have been telling you here. But now it understands these things experientially. So, or as someone put it, the title of a movie, Once Heaven Can Wait. Exactly. After merging with the essential, the soul understands essentially all that I have been telling you here. But now it understands these things experientially. Oh, not intellectually. So exactly. So the man say, oh, as someone put it in the title of a movie, Once Heaven Can Wait. Exactly. After merging with the essential, after we die, merge with the essential, the soul understands essentially all that I have been telling you here. But now it understands these things experientially. See, once is conceptually or theoretically, now is experiences experientially, goes through experience. Oh my God. And some are good and some are not, even though this being here says good. No, not always. Okay? Not in the beginning. Because you go through stages and process of what they call lessons, but those lessons can be very painful, not intellectually, and many souls do choose to return to physical life. In fact, most souls do at least once. Most souls do, And then I saw my other sister. She was okay, happy. Last time I saw her, she was very happy. My mother also is okay already, have adjusted a bit. So the last time I saw them, it was in December, long time ago. Now I don't know because I sometimes I don't remember my dreams anymore. Maybe they come, but I'm not remembering. Nearly every person who is dying is not dying for the first time. If they choose this time to stay dead, it is because they feel really complete with what they came here to do. I see. So those who stays dead that decide because they feel complete with their mission here. But if you feel incomplete, you return. So there is what you say. There's conditions. You return if you feel incomplete, and then they say, "Oh, you have a mission to do yet." So you have to return to a completion, complete the mission that you left behind. Maybe people are dead through suicide, those suicides or just the suicides or the homicides, those who die in disasters, etc. So they die maybe before time, and they do those aliens will say it was not time for you to return, but then you return. It happened, and then you have to return back again to pick up the pieces that you left behind in your prior reincarnation. So therefore, do not begrudge them. They are moving on. Not feel angry because they have not come back. They came back to you many times to keep you company before. Many times. I'm lost here. I'm lost. This conversation has taken me to many places and I've breathlessly tried to keep up. I've done, I think, a pretty good job, but this one is getting away from me. This one is so far over my head that I don't think I can even reach for it. Try. I don't know where to begin. Ask me a question. Okay, what do you mean? My loved ones have come back to me many times. Maybe through reincarnation, dude. What else? Your father may have been your brother. Your mother may have been your sister. I mean just that. I mean your loved ones died and then come back to you more than once out of that sense of wishing to be complete with you and with all the rest of what they choose to accomplish in their life. They can come back as your grandchildren, your children, etc. My mommy died and she was gone. She never came back. My daddy died and that was that. My brother is lumped over the wheel of his car while he was driving, for heaven's sake. And my sister-in-law had to reach over and steer the car to the side of the road and find a way to get half foot on the brake pedal to stop it. And she, with the after effects of a stroke, and half her body not working right. Oh my gosh, poor thing. So his parents died, and then for him it was a trauma, poor thing, like happened to me as well. And then his 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 brother also slumped dead over the wheel of a car, over the wheel of a car, and his wife who had a stroke also had to manage the car to stop it from crash or move, maybe go down a ravine or whatever. And as she got terrified by stroke and half her body not working right. Now I hate to get mad then about this, but if a soul can come back after the moment of his death, if he has that choice, then the least my brother could have done was to get back to his body long enough to maneuver the car over to the side of the road before someone else died. Yeah, but he couldn't. He just couldn't because you don't blame him. It's not his fault. He was on the. He died already. Come out, finish. You have a lot of heat on this, don't you? I guess so. You are standing there telling me what everyone who had died can come back to life if they want to. You are telling me that my mom and my dad and my oldest brother, who I adored, went to the other side, were given a chance to come back to us, and all of them declined? It's not their fault, moron. They couldn't come back. Maybe they come back after straight away in the light body, but their body was over. It's beyond their control. It's not their fault. And if I'm not supposed to have any heat on that, I mean, talk about your abandonment issues. That's got to be the abandonment issues of all time. The mother of all abandonment issues, not the fault. Relax, relax. Gonna blame your aliens and your gods, not the fault. I see. So it's about you, not them. What? Someone you love dies and you are concerned is about you, not them. Exactly. How selfish this man is. How selfish. In fact, the poor thing could come back. Die finish. When you die, also cannot come back. What? So dumb, man. Oh, come on. That's not fair. You just told me something very unorthodox about all this. You just told me that the people closest to me had a chance to come back to their grieving loved one. Yeah, but not in that bird. And they all said no. They couldn't. Not on the body, not on the physical. How dense this man is. They couldn't come back as a ghost. They could come back in another body, but if their memory erased, you understand that you wouldn't know because that's the agenda, the plan of the aliens. It's beyond our control. My gosh. But I also say that they all said yes more than once. When they go and they stay, it's because they are really, really done this time, really complete, and they don't want to come back anymore. Their final departure was just that. It was their last leave taken. All the other times they returned. And they returned another body. Why don't they explain to them, to him, in a detail why? Why do you fool people for? He's supposed to explain in detail because he don't want to talk about reincarnation because they think that he's not ready yet. You see, dude, he's not ready to know about reincarnation or he wouldn't accept. So he must say no, but he come back not with that dead body that's now finished. But he comes back with another body or as a ghost, a light body. All what other time? All what other times? I don't recall anyone returning. None of the people I'm talking about had operating room resuscitations or sudden remissions of illness or anything like that. When they went, boom, gone, end of story. Exactly. But you can fight back, you can try, but sometimes you lose. I have tried many times to stay alive. I think I have had many deaths because I have tried so hard, not with the help of the doctor, because with the help of the doctor, they would have killed me for good. But the help of my mind, I have remained alive until now. So your mommy went 4 times. Mm-hmm. There. What What you call your mother's death is what she calls her last death. You are not counting the several she had before that. My mother had several deaths before that and come back exactly. This is what I was trying to say earlier. Because I come back many times from death. And when you come back with more memories attached. Understand? It's good to die so that you come back again in the same bad because you can remember things that many other people who doesn't go through this process wouldn't be able to achieve. Let me ask you a question. Do you know if your mother ever had any near misses? Near misses? Yes, near death experiences. Yeah, that one means you half die, but you don't die completely, but you come back. Instances in which she almost died but missed by an instant. Oh, you mean when she came within an inch of death? This dude is very dumb. Exactly, yes. Do you know if she ever had an experience such as that? No, I don't. If she did, she never told me about them. Why? Maybe she did. She did. I'm going to tell you now that she had four of them. Yeah, exactly. And who knows better about us than those beings, right? Of those four, two were after you were born. Mm-hmm. There. Are you kidding me? Is this real? It's very real. When she gave birth to him, when she gave birth to him, she almost died, poor mother. And you should know that those were not instances in which she almost died. Those were instances in which she died. And in all of those instances, she didn't choose to come back for him. And he should be grateful for her. The poor thing come back for her son. This is beyond belief. What are you telling me? Why would she come back? She wasn't finished. She didn't feel complete. Did you know that she almost died at the time of your birth? No. No one ever told me that. It's true. In your present reality, she almost died as a result of bringing you into this world. In another reality, she did. Then she decided to come back. She decided that she wanted to raise you, not to leave you to the mercies of the world. Poor thing. True mother love. I know because this happened to me many times. So she come back in your reality. It was said that she almost died. There was instance that I once really died after giving birth. I had a hemorrhage for my last birth. And I once really died. I once lost my strength, but I didn't ask nobody help. And then at that time I was breastfeeding my son. And then I said, no, I don't want to go now. I don't want to go. I want to stay here, you see, but because I want to help raise my son. And now he's 27 years old. There were other times as well when she died, went to the afterlife, remembered what she needed to remember, and chose to come back. Then, when even the youngest of her offspring, that's you, oh, he's the youngster, reached the adulthood, well, on the way to creating his own life, she died for good. Poor mom. So sad, and there's still evil spirit who doesn't give value to their mother. So many evil spirits from the 70s onward were being born now this time. They don't know how to give uh, value to a person who's not even bad. They deceive a mother who throw them in the trash can or hurt them and bash them up or abuse them and always possible let their male stepfather or their lover or husband do it. Then they will learn how to give value to a good mother, a pure soul like that. So she came back in your reality and said that she almost died. There were other times as well when she died, went to the afterlife, remembered what she needed to remember, and chose to come back. Poor lady. That's why we go, then we come back, we remember. That's why many people are wise, they remember things that the others don't. It's through their near death experiences. Then, when even the youngest of the house offspring as you reach the adulthood, well, on the way to creation his own life, she died for good. Even when she was young, just a year so older than you are now, poor thing. But she was truly finished, complete. I think she was enough of suffering. She had enough of suffering. She had no more reason to go back. It was time to rest and to enjoy her next experience, which was an ascending seed opportunity to move to the next level in her own evolution. She has done that now. She's now what you would call an angel. She's helping others and she always did. Oh, he had a wonderful mom. But I believe that sometimes the body is so wretched, is so broken that it's impossible for the soul to return to their body. But they don't want to suffer anymore through a bad surgery, anesthesia, whatever, accident, shooting, stabbings, wounding, or hacking, whatever. That body is so destroyed that to come back is impossible. So I'm not even a little surprised that my mom was like she became an angel. What about my dad? Where is he? I don't think it's wise or even beneficial to get into the journey and stages of every one of the souls who have populated your life. The soul and essence of that which you have called your father found total happiness here and complete peace following death. Of that much you can be sure. All souls do. Not a single soul does not. Some remain asleep, like the case of my father. He stayed a long time asleep because he was so acceptic and he was so had been so rude in this life. He had done a lot of stupid things that when he died, he went totally into narcolepsy. My brother was not my because my brother was bad man, no, but for other instances because he too was so traumatized in life. So this after the death of my mother that he chooses to become into narcolepsy, into coma. Okay, and the first instance he died, he still was alive a bit, but later he chooses to become to go into coma again. Just like as he died in coma. He woke up, he did some activities, and then after that he went back into coma again. Just a second. Something you said about my mom just hit my ear a second time. Will she never return again to physical form? I thought you said that the process of moving from the spiritual realm to the physical world and back again was eternal and everlasting. I did, and it is. I did not say that your mother had not returned to physicality. I said that she's an angel. Angels are physical. Angels are everything they want to be. If they want to be physical, they can be physical. If they want to be pure spirit, they can be pure spirit. Angels travel between two worlds. How nice of his mother to become an angel. There are angels all around you, some of them in physical form, some of them in spiritual form. I have seen one. She was my sister-in-law. Oh, my sister mother-in-law. She died in the 90s, and she became a good soul. And I think she became an angel also, because she was abandoned by her son. My mother who took care of her, and when she died, she became like a kind of emissary, something like that. When my mother was about to I think 1 year before my mother go, she came to me and she announced that my mother would have to go. And she come like a nun. I saw her as a nun. She's my nieces and nephews uh, paternal grandmother. Could one of them be my mom? What do you think? So there are angels all around you, some of them in physical form, some of them in spiritual form. Could one of them be my mom? What do you think? I think so. I often felt her near me. I thought I was imagining it. Imagine it. I thought it was real. Think again. And my dad, he helped you write this book. Do you think it is sheer coincidence that you come to this awareness on his birthday? Wow, how nice. Oh my God, this is his birthday. I've been thinking of him all day. And I'm writing this on June 29. His birthday, Cancer Man. Is such a coincidence possible? Your dad says nothing to it. Okay, now I'm getting spooked here because that is exactly what he would say. Your dad says nothing to it. Okay, now I'm getting spooked here because that is exactly what he would say. So how about if we move on here? Tell me, how do you get to be an angel? How do you get promoted? You don't get promoted. It's not about advancement through some ranking. It's not about some souls being somehow better than others. Well, they could be farther along the path. Who is farther along on a circle? But I thought you said, listen to me. You are moving through an endless cycle. There is no beginning and no end. You are no better and no worse than any other soul in the cycle. The whole cycle is holy and you simply are where you are. Exactly. So that's why I don't understand, there's some dogma over there, spiritual one, saying, or Kadesis, whatever, or KC, saying that people, some will go purgatory and some will go to heaven. And then in my mind came the question, so why you are to say that some people are better than the others when there is a saying which goes that all men were created equal. So why is that some go to purgatory, hell, and others to heaven? It's not fair. It's not fair. It forfeits everything that has been said about the equality of all sentient beings, inclusive the vegetations and the animals. Okay, not just human, but aliens, lives, vegetation, nature, etc. So one of the difficulties that humans have created on the earth is that so many hold this idea of better. It is better to be a Muslim, or it's better to be a Mormon, or it's better to be a Jew, or a Baha'i, or a Christian, or it's better to be a man, or a woman, or a conservative, or a liberal, or a Frenchman, or an Italian, or a black, or an Asian. Yeah, some think that they're superior. Huh? So they discriminate against another and say that that person, that groups discriminate against them because they are always full of BS. So, nobody's but a Muslim, a Christian, a Mormon, a Barai, a Jew, a Hindu also, is no better than anybody else. A Christian or a person who is spiritual, for the spiritual path, Afro dogmas is no better than another, so nobody's better. It's all different, but no better than one another. Ou a man, a woman, conservative or liberal, a Frenchman or Italian or a black or an Asian or a Anglo man or a member of the Crips or a member of the Bloods or whatever, or a Illuminati or whatever. You get it lined out that one of you is better than another of you. And it simply is not so. But I have affect question then if it's not about being promoted, it's not about advancement, then how do you get to be an angel? You choose to be an angel. Really? Really? Mm, you choose to be, you choose everything. There is nothing that you do not choose. Can angels choose not to be angels anymore? Of course they can, and angels have. You can be an angel for a while and then not be an angel. Then you can decide to get an angel to be an angel again. You can go around in cycles. You can go around in loops. You can travel in spirals. You can move in straight lines. You can stay in heaven for eons. You can come right back to earth in the next second. You can have it any way you wish. Do you have an idea who you are? You are trying to tell me here, and I see that I'm resisting it. Do art God, which is the part of the cosmos and the atoms. Okay, to be precise. So that's all for chapter 32.